Hello and welcome to What Culture Wrestling. Myself, Andrew Pollard, and as you can see, I am joined by a very special guest today, the youngest in charge, fresh off NXT and TNA Showdown, the current X Division champion, the youngest X Division champion in TNA history, who defends his belt against Javon Evans at Bound for Glory this Sunday in what many would say is a dream match. Leon Slater. How are you, Leon?
I'm good, Andrew. I'm good. I'm good to be chatting to you, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm all the better for seeing you again. I mean, it's not long since we last talked, so it's always good to have a nice little catch up. Of course, I should say, Bound for Glory. If anybody wants to keep up with Leon through the TNA Plus app, at the moment it's available for £9.99 per month or £99.99 for the entire year in the new TNA Plus VIP tier for fans in the UK and Ireland. Pay-per-views are all included in there, including Bound for Glory. Every episode of Impact, you can go back and watch all the greats of yesteryear, keep up to date with the greats of the current day and the future greats. And of course, Bound for Glory live from Lowell, Massachusetts, the Songus Center this Sunday. How excited are you walking into that, man?
Extremely excited. I feel like Bound for Glory has a great buzz around it right now. It feels very Slammiversary-esque, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Slammiversary is one of the greatest nights of my life. So I'm excited to try and replicate it on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we spoke to you was back in April, and it's well, literally 6 months ago. And like,
Mhm.
what a 6 months it's been. That was ahead of TNA Rebellion, and
Yep.
it's we were talking before, and I talked to you back in April about I was terrified what you're going to do with Rebellion, that you're going to do something daft, and you did. But then you've gone from that, you've gone from teaming with the Hardys, which is again just like a dream, to then you've gone to beat Moose for the exhibition title. You've gone to sharing that awesome moment with AJ Styles. You've made your WWE debut. You've been competing at Showdown. You've got amazing red coming up at House of Glory. With Glory comes Pride this Friday. A man whose record you beat to become the youngest X Division champion ever. And then you've got Javon Evans on Sunday at Bound for Glory. It must be, it's not bad being Leon Slater right now, yeah?
No, it's I'm pretty blessed right now, man. And it's crazy to hear you put it all like that because I feel like when obviously me being me, like I'm in it every day, you know what I mean? So these like kind of monumental moments, like you have one and then life goes by and then you have another and everything just goes so fast, you know. But when you lay out like that, it has been a wild year, man. It's been crazy.
Yeah, that is literally just 6 months. That is to do all of that in
Yeah,
six
not even the
months.
full year. Damn, yeah,
it,
you're right.
it's crazy, man. And it's like I think it was Nick Nemeth we had interviewed on here on the channel who said it was disgusting that you were so good at 21 years of age and you just smashing all of this. Now to come to Bound for Glory, like I said, this Sunday, one of TNA's biggest pay-per-views of the year. Yourself, Javon Evans, the youngest in charge, against that boy. He is bouncy. It's
Yeah.
the young OG. It's what many people see as the two brightest prospects in professional wrestling. Both, I believe, Giovanni is only 21 as well, which is again
Yeah.
just crazy, disgusting to quote Nick Nemeth. And
Hmm.
this does feel it's crazy to say a match like this is a dream match, but it really is. The two most exciting wrestlers in their respective promotions. And last time we spoke, you were keen for this match. So, what can we expect this weekend? I mean, this has all the potential to be just a complete show stealer.
It does, and I think that's very fair for you to expect, and I think that's what we're going to deliver on. I think, like you said, me and Javon are, you know, the show stealers on our respective brands, and I feel like we've been on this parallel path where he's been killing it on NXT, I've been killing it on TNA, and now those paths are finally crossing, Bound for Glory, and like I feel like it might be the youngest dream match ever. Like I can't think of another time in professional wrestling where two people, even under 25, you know what I mean, or never mind under 23 have had this much anticipation, this much hype for a match. You know what I mean? So it's another chance to make history and break some records, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do on Sunday.
Yeah, it's like it is like you said there. It's kind of nuts because when you think of dream matches, you think of these guys who've been around for 10, 15 years, 20 years
Yeah,
in different companies who've never wrestled. Or maybe when Kurt Angle came over to TNA and it was like, oh,
yeah,
Angle and Samoa Joe, holy moly. But it's like, yeah, you two 21-year-old kids have got that much hype around you that you've both built up to both of your credits that it's like, yeah, let's get to this. And it's
yeah,
I mean, just looking at like the wider card, I mean, it's stacked. You've got Mike Santana going against Trick Williams for the TNA
yes,
World Title. You've got the Hardys and the Dudleys. I mean, you're very familiar with one of those teams where it's one last time in the tables match for the TNA, and I guess now the NXT tag titles. You've got Kalani
yep,
Jordan defending the Knockouts title against Indy Hartwell. There's a system, the other four. Kaz defending the international title against Steve Macklin. There's the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. There's just so much going on. And I believe from looking into it, like the Songer Center is pretty much sold out. If not sold out now, it likely will be with 4.5 to 5,000 people there. Again, this is another TNA event in 2025 where it feels like a huge deal.
Yeah, man, it really, really is. I remember being on Bound for Glory last year in the pre-show, in the Call You Shot Gauntlet, and we were super gassed to have 4,000 people. And that was like the biggest thing we've ever done. It was a huge night for everybody, and it was great for the time, you know what I mean? And now a year later, we've just been in Edmonton, Canada, where we've done
Yeah.
3,500 a night, I think, on both nights, for Victory Road and the tapings following Victory Road. And now Bound for Glory, we're looking at pushing five. And Slammiversary we had close to 8,000. You know what I mean? So TNA is on a roll right now, man, and I'm just super super glad to be a part of the journey. You know what I mean? I feel like it's very very rare that a promotion gets hot in wrestling nowadays. There's always ebbs and flows, but it feels like TNA is really in their zone right now, and it feels like we're entering a whole new era right now. So I'm just super glad to be a big part of it.
Yeah, and yourself and Javon, it's a friendly rivalry, should we call it that? Obviously, you've teamed together recently, but we've
Hmm.
we've seen. I mean, Trick Williams became the first WWE contracted wrestler to win a TNA title. You've got the Hardys, who've just become the first TNA stars to win WWE titles last night at NXT, as we're recording this on the day after Showdown. And part of me kind of thinks like, okay, you've got those two kind of different things of WWE winning TNA, TNA winning WWE. Yourself and Javon Evans, you make a really good team, man. We've only seen it once, but it was very exciting. And is there a chance there where maybe, whichever belt it is, we have a chance of a WWE guy and a TNA guy teaming together to win some sort of tag team gold? Just saying.
I mean, if you asked me this question a year ago, I would have told you absolutely no way, it's not possible. But in 2025, man, I truly believe that anything is possible in the world of professional wrestling. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's a far off take at all to say that me and Javon could win the tag belts, and maybe we just win it off the Hardys. I think that'd
Don't.
be a match a lot of people would love to see. I feel like it
Yeah,
would
man.
be the founders versus the innovators now. You know what I'm saying? That'd be an extremely fun match. And again, I'm down for it, man. I'm down for anything.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sure we had this last time where, like, I swear you're like reading my notes because it was like just how I was comparing yourself, well, in my notes anyway, yourself and Javon to the classic Hardys or to the Motor City
Yeah.
Machine Guns or to Paul London and Brian Kendrick, which I think are massively underrated, or even like
Hmm.
Fraction more recently, where it's just this high energy, frenetic babyface team that just do stuff where you're like, this is absolutely nuts. But
Yeah.
first and foremost, obviously you've got to do nuts things together. But how has it been with this to be a T? Obviously, you're a TNA contracted wrestler. How's it
Mhm.
been to be a part of this crossover to make your WWE debut? I mean, that's a massive thing to make your WWE debut, and then also to be chosen and trusted to represent TNA because not everybody can do that. It's especially when you've been put in such a prominent position where again you're part of the big 4-on-4 Survivor Series style elimination match. That's a big spot, man.
Yeah, it's been a super cool opportunity, man. But it's nothing that I haven't wanted, and it's nothing I haven't worked for. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm super super grateful for all of the opportunities that I've had this year. But I do think it's fair to say that I've taken all the opportunities that I've been given and I've smashed it out of the park. You know what I mean? And I think Showdown was another example of that, not just for myself, but as for TNA as a brand, you know what I mean? Whether it was
Yeah.
Ali and Ethan Page that arguably stole the show yesterday, you know what I mean? Or whether it was the girls tag, or whether it was the Hardys winning the belts, or whether it was the men's tag. TNA really is showing the world who we are and what we're about. And I remember before we went out for the main event on Showdown yesterday, our captain Santana was hyping us all up. You know what I mean, letting us know why we're here, what we're doing it for, and that's something that really stuck with me. Because TNA hasn't always been on this platform. I think TNA has often been the little brother. You know what I mean, and we've always kind of been looked down on and perceived as less than a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So on a night like that yesterday, to have a lot of our locker room there, killing it and showing what all the hard work we've been doing over on our side is paying off for. You know what I mean? It was a great opportunity, and I think myself and TNA as a whole, like I said, absolutely smashed it out of the park at Showdown.
See, I absolutely love that, man. There's very much like a Britishness that's easy for me to say, where it's like you don't want to make yourself sound too good. Whereas sometimes, if you've been great, or what you're working on in terms of the company you're working for have been great, then it's just like it's quite refreshing to hear somebody come out and confidently say like, yeah, we've been killing it. I've earned this spot. Every opportunity I've got, I've smashed out the park, and you have, man. You absolutely have. It's refreshing to hear somebody, a British wrestler anyway, just come out and be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm really good. And when I get a chance, I will take the most of it. You deserve all of that. Now,
I do try and say it as humbly as possible, but sometimes
yeah,
sometimes facts are facts, you know what I'm saying?
exactly. The work does not lie. Now, you mentioned Mike Santana there. Santana, for the longest time, was the face of House of Glory, which is a
Yep.
promotion I will always take a time to shine a spotlight on. Obviously, we're here to talk TNA, but this coming Friday, just before, 2 days before Bound for Glory, yourself, the youngest X Division champion, is going up against the former youngest X Division champion, the man whose record you broke, the Amazing Red, one of just such a pioneer, such an influential figure. To me, one of the most important wrestlers of the modern era, I would say. And
Yep.
it's a stat card. I mean, you've got Killer Cross against Matt Cardona's on there. The Hardys are there against the main event for a winner takes all tag title match. You've got your boy Darius challenging Charles Mason for the
Yep.
Hog World title. But how cool is it for you to, I guess, lack of a better term, scratch that amazing red itch, just like to be one of like the OGs of TNA X Division?
I think it's going to be a very fun one, man. And Amazing Red is someone that I've wanted to wrestle for since I can remember. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
said, he is one of the most influential and important wrestlers to how wrestling is today. He really did shape modern wrestling. And as well as that, him being the previous holder of the record that I now hold, adds an extra little bit of a caveat there, you know. And I actually got to meet Red for the first time earlier this year, I think in Jersey, but the first time we had for a real conversation was at Slammiversary. He was backstage, and it was only a couple words we shared, but I just said, I hope I can make you proud, and I don't want to beat this record for nothing. Like, I hope I can live up to your expectation, and I hope we get to do this one day. You know what I mean? And that was without knowing that it would happen one day. Obviously, I always thought it would be cool, but I never knew how possible it was. And now it's a real thing, and it's in a couple days. So I'm very, very excited to take on Amazing Red and see what the original X Division is like in person, and see how it compares to the new style of X Division.
Yeah, I believe that Amazing Red. He has some pull in the House of Glory. I believe he's got a bit of a say.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's like you're working your way through so many greats of the X Division. I mean, look at it more recently. It's like Speedball. You face Speedball. Faced Ace Austin, and Moose, of course. Even Mustafa Ali, Frankie Kazarian, the Rascals, Josh Alexander even for Rev Pro, Eddie Edwards, and now Amazing Red is like the latest to add to that list. I have to ask you, man, what about AJ Styles?
What about AJ Styles, man?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's again. I've been saying recently that I feel like the two dream matches that people were excited for me to have and myself were Javon, which is happening on Sunday, and AJ Styles, which is happening I don't know when. But I will say I think although that AJ's been putting out a lot of kind of cryptic messages about maybe hanging up the gloves soon, you know what I mean? I like to think I still have a pretty good chance of making that match happening, especially with my luck this year. Hopefully, my luck carries on into late this year, early next year, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I have trust. I'm manifesting that that is a match that will happen, Leon Slater versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at like X Division greats, especially like the early years, it's AJ is the guy. I mean,
He is
the
the
first
X
ever.
Division great. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You look at someone like Loki, Christopher Daniels, who obviously kind of retired now. Motor City Machine Guns, Jay Lethal. There's so many. I mean, Austin Aries. There's a lot there, but AJ Styles is the one where it feels like it's right there. And I have to ask you,
Mhm.
the big win over Moose you had, and I don't know. I don't know if I was, as an old school TNA fan, I don't know if I was more excited to hear Ready to Fly and see AJ's come out, or if I was more excited to see your reaction to that song. Like, was
Yeah.
that, I mean, you hear rumblings of like, you didn't know, obviously AJ was already announced for the show, but
Yeah.
there's rumblings online, reports online that you maybe didn't know that he was coming out then. Is that correct?
1000% true. I had
Oh,
absolutely zero clue. Like, obviously, AJ was announced, and I saw him
yeah,
backstage. So he kind of said hello. But like, even on the run sheet that we have backstage, there was no AJ Styles appearance scheduled. You know what I mean? So when I was in the ring, I'd shaken Carlos's hand. I'd had the belt from Moose. I'd give my family a hug because they were in the crowd, which is again another super cool moment. I was just taking it all in. I remember like looking around at the people, and then all of a sudden I hear the drums like, "Get ready to fly!" And I lost my mind, bro. You could see it. You could see it, right? Like, I
Yeah.
was jumping around. I was sprinting.
Yep.
After like a 20-minute match, I was exhausted, but the adrenaline pumped all the way back up. So again, I've said it a couple of times before, but for him to share that moment with me and that moment being his first moment in the company that he helped build in like 10 years plus, you know what I mean, was so, so special. And I still haven't watched it back because I feel like moments like that, I want to preserve the first person memory. And I feel like as soon as I watch the footage on these things, whether it's a match or a promo, that memory gets turned to a third person memory. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everything about that night at Slammiversary, I can still remember living in full color in first person perspective, which I think is a super cool memory to hold.
Dude, it's disgusting against going Nick Nemeth how mature you are for your age. 'Cause that's a really way to look at it. Is you don't want to go back and watch it because then it becomes a third person, third
Yeah.
perspective viewpoint. But it was crazy, and you're there. The knees are going up, you're jumping around, and it was. I was just like I was watching it thinking this is so cool to see AJ Styles back, but also this is so cool to see Leon get in this moment. It was great, man. All right, as we start to wrap things up, because I'm very wary of time. But like the X division has been so synonymous with TNA and greatness in TNA. It's been so much at the forefront of the company for literally 20 plus years now. We'll talk about AJ Styles, but so many other people. But what's it like for you to be given that ball, that responsibility, the pressure that comes with that? And where do you maybe, we fast forward to this time, October 2026. Where is Leon Slater? Is he atop the X division? Has he brought back option C? Is he doing something else? Is he still involved in WWE and cracking skulls? What's on the line, man? There's a lot going on.
It's a difficult question, man, because again, like skipping back to 2024, if you would ask me this, I would have had a loose idea, but there's no way I could have plotted out everything that's happened this year, man. So I feel like it's very difficult to bullet point. But what I will say is that being ahead of the X division or being the head of the X division is something I take great pride in. Not only to hold the belt and the lineage that it has, but for me, it's almost validation that everything I've done since I was 9 and I started training out all the nights on doing ring crew in the indies when I was 14, 15. I was hustling on the indies since 2019. It's proof that that's all been worth it. And now a major company has trust in me that I can deliver every single time and be reliable. So it's a very, very good position and it's a very cool position for me to be in. And as far as next year goes, man, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I become the longest X Division champion of all time. Maybe I have the most defenses. Maybe I do cash in option C. Maybe I'm the world champion by this time next year. You know what I mean? I feel like the way that my life's going at the minute, I really feel like anything can happen, man. So to put an exact bullet point on it, I have no clue. But the direction we're going in is up, man. Always.
Yeah, I love the enthusiasm. I love the positivity. And I should mention as well, just to throw in there, it's not a plug, but North Wrestling did a fantastic documentary about 18 months or so ago where Leon's a big part of that on his run against Liam Slater for the title there. If you haven't checked that out, go and check that on YouTube. It is brilliant. And again, it delves into some of your young fandom and how it became to, where you were in that position in that promotion. Brilliant
Yeah.
stuff. I should also add as well that the TNA Bound for Glory is this Sunday, which you can check out on TNA Plus, of course, for £9.99 per month or £99.99 annually for fans in the UK and Ireland as part of the all new VIP tier. A very quick, just brief one, Leon, because I know we're going to cut off, but just any final words for your fans?
Um, I want to say thank you to you guys because I wouldn't be here without people watching here, people that follow me on socials, people that come to TNA events, any indie events that I'm on. You guys have changed my life. I was a 9-year-old in Bradford and now I'm a 21-year-old in Orlando and I've just wrestled for WWE. So that wouldn't happen without you guys. So I appreciate you guys with all of my heart and I want to say thank you.
Brilliant. And just thank you for the ride so far, man. It's been an absolute blast. And again, there's so much ahead. Mainly Bound for Glory this coming weekend, this Sunday, against Javon Evans for the TNA X Division Championship, and it's going to be an absolute blast. I can guarantee it, man.
It
Leon,
will.
it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, man. Whenever you want to come by and join us again next time, give us a shout and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
get you on, my man. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been
Thank you,
WhatCulture
Andrew.
Wrestling. I've been Andrew Pollard. This has been Leon Slater, and we'll catch you soon.